Antarctica. It's the most remote, most mysterious, and least explored continent on our planet. It's a land of extremes, buried under an ice sheet nearly 2 kilometers thick on average. What we see is just a vast white desert, but what lies beneath? What secrets are hidden in the darkness, under all that ice? For decades, this question has captivated scientists, adventurers, and theorists alike. The idea is simple, yet profound. What if deep beneath the frozen surface lies the evidence of a lost civilization? One far older and more advanced than anything we know from our history books. Let's start with a fact that might surprise you. Antarctica wasn't always frozen. Geological evidence is clear on this. Millions of years ago, this continent was green. It had lush forests, flowing rivers, and a climate that could have supported a wide variety of life. Mainstream science places this ice-free period deep in the distant past. But some researchers are pushing the boundaries, suggesting that parts of Antarctica may have been habitable much more recently, perhaps as recently as 12,000 years ago. At the end of the last major ice age, this timing is critical. Why? Because ancient myths and legends from cultures all over the globe tell a similar story. They speak of a great flood, a global catastrophe that wiped out a golden age of humanity. Plato wrote of Atlantis. The Bible tells of Noah's Ark. Hindu texts describe the pralaya, a cyclical dissolution of the universe. Could these be fragmented memories of a real event? An event that plunged a once temperate land like Antarctica into a deep freeze, burying its secrets under miles of ice? This brings us to one of the most compelling and controversial pieces of this puzzle, the Piri Reis map. This incredible document was compiled in 1513 by a Turkish admiral. What makes it so fascinating is that it appears to show the northern coastline of Antarctica, without ice. It depicts a landmass that we, in the modern world, only rediscovered and mapped using advanced ground-penetrating radar in the 20th century. So how could a 16th century cartographer possibly know what this coastline looked like? The map's creator, Piri Reis himself, noted that he compiled it from much older source maps, some dating back to the time of Alexander the Great or even earlier. Supporters of the lost civilization theory argued this is the smoking gun. They believe the original maps were created by a sophisticated seafaring culture that existed before the ice caps formed a civilization with knowledge we've only recently regained. Skeptics argue it's just a coincidental representation of the South American coastline, distorted and stretched southward. But the resemblance to the subglacial Antarctic coast is uncanny, and it remains a genuine historical mystery. The mystery only deepens when we look at what modern technology is uncovering. Satellite imagery and radar scans have detected strange anomalies beneath the ice. We're talking about massive geometric shapes and features that some claim look unnatural. One of the most famous is the so-called Antarctic Pyramid, a mountain with 4 steep, pyramid-like sides. Scientists are quick to point out that these are likely nunataks, the peaks of mountains poking through the ice, or pyramidal peaks, sculpted by natural wind and ice. Erosion over millions of years, and yet alternative researchers aren't convinced. They point to the apparent symmetry and unusual angles of some of these formations. They analyze patterns that seem too orderly, too aligned, to be purely the work of nature. Could these be the eroded remnants of colossal structures, the foundations of a buried city? Or maybe even the infrastructure of a technologically advanced society hidden from view? Mainstream science says no, it's just geology, but the images continue to fuel speculation, keeping the question alive. And this is where the conversation takes a turn toward the truly extraordinary. Enter the ancient aliens hypothesis. This theory proposes that if there was an advanced civilization in Antarctica, maybe it wasn't entirely human. Or perhaps it was a human civilization that received a helping hand from extraterrestrial visitors. Proponents of this idea suggest that ancient astronauts could have used the remote continent as a base of operations on Earth. They might have shared advanced knowledge of astronomy, engineering, and energy with a select group of early humans' knowledge that was lost when disaster struck. According to this perspective, Antarctica could have been a global power center in the distant past, a hub for a pre-flood civilization guided by off-world intelligence. The continent-wide catastrophe that froze it over would have been the perfect way to seal away their secrets, preserving their technology and their legacy until a future time when humanity was ready to rediscover it. It's a wild idea, for sure, but it connects the dots between the mysterious structures, the advanced ancient maps, and the global myths of gods descending from the heavens. The mystery of Antarctica isn't just ancient, it's also modern. Let's fast forward to the end of World War II. In 1946, the U.S. Navy launched a massive expedition called Operation High Jump. The official story is that it was a cold-weather training mission, but the scale of it was enormous. Over 4,700 personnel, an aircraft carrier, submarines, and dozens of aircraft. They went to Antarctica for a mission that was supposed to last 6 to 8 months, but was abruptly cut short after just 8 weeks. Admiral Richard E. Byrd, the man in charge, gave a chilling interview upon his return. He spoke of a new enemy that could fly from pole to pole at incredible speeds. Conspiracy theories exploded. Was Operation High Jump really a cover for something else? Were they searching for a secret Nazi base rumored to have been built there? Or did they encounter something far older? Perhaps remnants of ancient technology? Or even the descendants of that lost civilization? To this day, many details of the operation remain classified, and the intense secrecy surrounding Antarctica continues. The continent is governed by an international treaty that heavily restricts access and activity, which only adds fuel to the fire for those who believe there is something big being hidden from the public. So, where does that leave us? On one hand, we have mainstream science. And it's crucial to be clear, there is currently zero confirmed archaeological evidence of a lost civilization in Antarctica. No artifacts, no pottery, no bones. Most of the strange formations can be explained by natural geology and the powerful dynamics of ice. The Piri Reis map is a historical anomaly, not definitive proof. The ancient aliens connection remains pure speculation. Cool. But on the other hand, science also admits that over 98% of the landmass under the ice remains completely unexplored. We know more about the surface of Mars than we do about the continent beneath our feet. History is filled with examples of things once dismissed as impossible or myth that were later proven to be real. The city of Troy was just a story from Homer's Iliad until it was excavated in the 19th century. Viking sagas of a land called Vinland across the ocean were considered fantasies until their settlements were discovered in North America. The allure of Antarctica is that it represents one of the last true frontiers on Matthias. It challenges our neat and tidy timelines of human history. It forces us to confront the possibility that we don't know the full story of our past. What if advanced knowledge of science and astronomy existed long before ancient Greece or Egypt? What if civilization is far older and rises and falls in cycles far grander than we imagine? Whether Antarctica holds the key to an ancient alien base, a forgotten human empire, or simply geological wonders we don't yet understand, the mystery itself is what matters. It pushes us to explore, to question, and to imagine. The truth may not be a city of gold or a parked starship, but it could be something that just as profoundly reshapes our understanding of Earth's history, climate cycles, and our own place in the cosmos. Antarctica may not hold alien cities, but it absolutely holds questions science has yet to answer. And if there's one thing history has taught us, it's that the greatest discoveries are often buried deep, just waiting for the right moment, waiting for the ice to melt. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this journey into the unknown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more deep dives into the world's greatest mysteries.